Hey guys, so it's super early morning here, and I just got finished with my run. And I was thinking about Microsoft's new features, which, if you don't know, they just launched a bunch of them. One of them being probably one of the most asked for features, right back for Microsoft Power BI. But they also announced a big change. They announced that Copilot Chat was coming directly to Microsoft Power BI, and I have some thoughts. Frankly, I don't think Microsoft is setting Copilot up for success in Microsoft Power BI with the small subset of features that they're launching. And I'm not an AI hater. So, why is that? Well, let's jump into the computer and let's talk about it. So, here was the announcement that they published yesterday. And as you can see, they're essentially going to be launching a chat window in Microsoft Power BI that you can chat and ask questions. And it will be able to answer questions around all of the data that you might have access to on the Power BI service. As you can see, it can also build visuals, it can find data sets, and it even has kind of a verified answer feature that honestly kind of looks like they ripped it straight off of Databricks' AI BI Genie. So, what is it that has me so concerned? 'Cause the answer is that they are planning on running this across all the data that your end users have access to. What they're going to do is if a data set hasn't been prepped by ready for AI, they're essentially going to pop up a warning and say, "Hey, this data hasn't been prepped." The problem is that end users are still going to run with that data, and they're going to use that data to make business decisions that are incorrectly informed because the chatbot essentially had a data set that wasn't ready for it. And then their companies are going to lose money. And it's going to kill Copilot in Power BI before it's even off the ground. Because if you have a bunch of business users that just consistently get wrong data from Copilot, i- why would they ever trust it in the future? Now, when a semantic model is appropriately prepped for Copilot, it runs really well. But the amount of prep that you have to do in order to get a semantic model set up for Copilot is immense. In fact, like if you don't have like a really pretty, star schema or galaxy schema in Power BI, Copilot runs into some pretty serious issues. And the reality is, when you get into an actual company and you start looking at some of their semantic models, they're not perfect. In fact, very oftentimes they're huge messes. So this idea that you're just going to turn Copilot on and it's going to have access to this huge mess, kind of, the iceberg below the surface, is a little scary, and I think is a mistake. If you look at Databricks' AI BI Genie, you tell the Genie what data that you want it to have access to. Now, what this means is that you maybe have not like a completely integrated, fully seamless solution. You have like a chatbot on daily sales, a chatbot on, you know, units sold, but it means that the chatbot only exists within the context of that small chunk of data, and that small chunk of data you can make sure is super well documented. That's not the approach Microsoft's going here. Microsoft is going for the all or nothing approach. Now, they say they're going to have a admin feature coming in the near future that allows you to essentially hide semantic models from Copilot, but they're launching Copilot without that feature being ready. So it's going to be a little bit of a mess, or you're going to have Power BI admins not enabling it at all, in which case, like, what's the point of all this engineering? So let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in business intelligence, primarily Microsoft Power BI, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Thank you for watching.